Okay.
Hi.
Holy crap, this is so, okay. So when did Jensen and Brianna start singing with you? Like, did they come over to you one day and say, hey, we could sing, can we sing with you? Like, it's perfect, but how did that happen?
You know, it all kind of happened organically. I mean, they found out, Creation found out I was in a band. This was like 2009, 2010. Like, hey, would your band want to play one of the conventions? And my band played, and Richard was there, so he saw the band, and he really liked the band. And so then eventually they asked Richard to host, and he was like, well, I'll host if Rob's band could be on stage with me. So then, you know, the band sort of organically started play here, and honestly, it was such a, it really organically happened, but we would all sing karaoke together, and like, Brianna has a great voice, and then it was like, but it didn't stop there. It was like, yeah, Branson and Jensen have great voices, but like, Kim has an amazing voice, and Ruth can sing, and David Hayden Jones can sing. You know, there are so many gifted people in this community, and then I think this idea of the Saturday night special sort of came about because we're like, we'll do a Loud and Swain show, and then we'll piece it in with some people from the show actually coming on and singing either our songs or cover songs. So that actually was like, that's kind of where it sort of began, and I think then it kind of went from there, and now, you know, they sing with us and they sing on their own, and, you know, I think it encouraged everybody to sort of explore that part of their talent a little bit more. I think that was the case with Jensen and Brianna making their own music. And honestly, none of this would be possible if it hadn't been for Jason Mans, who really started with music at the conventions. He's kind of always been kind of the glue. He's kind of the godfather of everyone who wants to sing. Kind of the band does its own thing, but then Jason's like, you know, he helps produce Brianna's album and Gil McKinney's album. Gil McKinney has an amazing voice, Gil McKinney's album. And, you know, he helps with all that stuff, and he's so good about that. So, yeah, it's just been this great sort of added bonus. I mean, the conventions themselves are such a bonus thing. You know, you work on a show. I've been working in the business now for, what, 25 years, and it's not even that this is rare. This is like just a completely unique, there's no other show like Supernatural. And there's no, and the other shows that have conventions aren't like the conventions that Supernatural has. It's a different thing, and the family, and you know, for those of you who are new, I really think this is a completely unique situation where first of all, we're a family. Everybody here is a family, and we support each other, and you all make friends with each other and make connections with each other. We make connections with each other, and then we make connections with you, and it's just this great feeling of community here that I don't see in the same way at other conventions. And so it's just this special moment, and to be on the show that was so great I feel so blessed. But then to be able to share it with a group of people who love it as much as you do is this other blessing. And I just think it's so special. And so the music has become this other sort of just magical part of this whole experience. And to share the mic with my friends it's amazing. And so yeah, so it's just all part of this amazing experience. I don't think you have that anywhere else. I really don't. And I try to explain it to my friends who are not in the convention circuit. They can't quite get it unless they come. You know what I mean? You almost have to come to experience it. And if you don't feel it right now, you will after the show tonight. You know, that's a feeling where it all comes together. Because there's something that happens when we're playing music, and when I sing my own songs, and I'm putting my heart out there, and then the actors come out, and it's not necessarily their most comfortable place to be singing. It's a very vulnerable place to be, and so we're all putting our heart out there, and you all give us so much. Like, we're not doing this if you're not here, and I can't wait till it's safe to hug you again and to go out and high five you, and you know, because when I play, all I want to do is I just want to give you a big hug. Like, it's just, I can't tell you, it's so I don't take any of this for granted, and I feel so lucky to be here, and I'm very humbled by this whole thing. And sometimes this idea that I'm in this stage in front of you, almost, it's not quite the metaphor for how it feels in my body. I want to be out there with you, because I feel like all of us are just, we're in this together. And anyway, I'm rambling, but... Yeah, I love you.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
So my question for you, have you ever had an audition or a job interview where you felt like, oh my God, I'm not going to get this, and then you did? And what was it? So. Oh,
wow. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I usually feel that way. Auditioning has changed so much because when I got started, and really until about 5 years ago, you'd go into the room and you'd be with them in the room. And so you really had a feeling of, like, I usually had a good vibe. Like if I walked out, I was like, that was amazing, that went great. And then you feel like you have a fairly good shot of getting it. And then there were the ones where you're like, oh man, that was really bad. And now it's not, you don't go in the room, so you have no idea sometimes how you did, except in your own head. You're like, was that good? I don't know. What is good? Who am I? So, because now it's all on tape. You put yourself on tape and you send in that audition. But recently, I put myself on tape, for NCIS Hawaii was a recent one where I came out of the audition and I was like, I put myself on tape. Sometimes there's a place in LA where they put you on tape if you can't find someone to read with you. So I did that, and I go in my car, I'm like, well, I stanked that up, didn't get that. And then sure enough, I get the call next day, you got it. I'm like, okay. I guess that went okay. So yeah, honestly, that probably happens more often than not, and I try not to. They always say, like, if you want to get the job, you really have to sort of envision yourself getting it. But they put the energy forward so that the universe makes this happen. It's super hard. It's the hardest thing about what we do. It's like so hard. I've never gotten used to auditioning. I don't like that feeling of being judged in that way, So yeah, that happens a lot. That happened with that. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of another time it happened. But yeah, that does happen. It definitely happens. And so that's why I'm in therapy. Because I have to be, to keep my mind centered. Thank you. You look so good. Everybody looks so good in their question light. You're so well lit.
If you could choose one song to play whenever you walked into a room, what song would it be?
Oh, wow.
What if God was one of us?
Yeah, What If God Is One of Us would definitely be my show song. But like, if me, Rob Benedict, I walk in a room and a song just comes on, what song would that be? Okay, maybe it would be, it's like if I was in a sports team, in baseball, like the players can choose their walk-up song, I think it would be Alive by Pearl Jam. Yeah. I think that would be my walk-up song, just to get me fired up to hit the ball, and to take the bat and be like, what the hell am I doing? I can't play baseball. I don't even know, do I hold the bat then? But where did that come from? What is that? Wow. I'm just gonna turn around, there's this big bloom of disco flowers. Alive by Pearl Jam. Yeah, Alive by Pearl Jam, and Alive by Pearl Jam. Hi.
Hi, my name's Savannah, and we've established that Chuck is kind of like a controversial character. Either like you love him or you hate him, but you also can't deny that he's pretty badass. So what scene when you were filming was like, did you really realize how badass Chuck was?
I think it was when I made Becky and her family disappear. I know. And I had to do it. I mean, things happened later in the season that were even more douchey. like making that dog disappear at the end. I know, I had to do it. But man, making Becky, that felt good. I mean, awful to have to do. I mean, it was just that ultimate power of like, oh, Becky, I'm a writer, I can do whatever I want. You know, that was so mean. And then her husband comes in, he's like, what the? I'm like, yeah, come on. And then she's like, what? And I was like, it's fine. And he's like, I was like, Becky. Oh man, that felt real badass, I gotta say. And then like and then the scene with Amara, the whole bit with Amara, that felt pretty good, where you think that she's on, but and then I ate her. That was fun. And that felt pretty badass. And when I got to say that like bad guys have all the best lines, because it's true, I always loved Mark Pellegrino's Lucifer because he has the best lines. And Shepard too had great lines. And I was like, oh cool, I get to do that, that's fun. So I guess there was a lot of it. But yeah, getting to zap Becky, even though I love her and I wish I hadn't have done that, it just did feel pretty kind of badass. And you know, beating up on the boys was kind of cool. I mean, just strictly from a like, I would never be able to do that in real life. I'm so little. And I beat the hell out of them. That was a whole day of beating, with me winning for the first time in my life. I mean, I practically need a ladder to get up to Jared's chair. But I was doing it. And those guys are so good at getting beat. Like they've been doing it for so long. It was like this dance. And it was great because I learned the moves. It just felt so good. I was like, whack! And he really went down. I was like, huh! And like, oh, wow! What the hell? I'm God! And then on the flip side, if nothing felt less cool than being left in the dust at the end when they drove away. Oh man, that was a nightmare for me personally, because I'm a FOMO, I'm a person, fear of missing out. I hate not being left out of the party. And they're like, later Chuck, and I'm like, oh, take me with you. Don't leave me. Those were real tears for me. I hate that. So yeah, that felt really uncool. But it felt pretty cool to beat up the boys. Anyway, thanks for the question. I liked it too much. I liked that question too much.
You're not gonna like my question. So you can sing, you can act. If you wanted to be a triple threat, like a Jennifer Lopez or a Justin Timberlake, what would your third talent be?
That's a great question. I was ready for something bad, like you sing, you act, but you played a douche on TV. Okay, so singing and acting, and then like a third thing, what would it be? I mean, it would be great if I was like a really great dancer. You know, that'd be a great triple threat. You know, like Timberlake and the other person you said. Lopez, yeah, J-Lo and JT and all the PJ and LP and all of them. But I think, yeah, but you know, as it is, I'm good. I feel like you know what I mean? It's almost too much. I feel like it'd be overwhelming. Because as it is, like, it's hard to divide my time, you know what I mean, between these two pursuits. And I fancy myself a writer sometimes as well, you know what I mean? So I think that's enough. If you'll accept writing as a triple threat, I'll do that one. However, in our make-believe world, you can sit. I feel bad because I'm rambling, and so the question askers are like, oh, he's still talking, okay. If I had the time to dance, and I was really good at it, that would be great. And what if Loud and Swain was like a boy band? That'd be awesome.
No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes.
Yes, no, yeah.
So we already started touching on the whole theory about how like Chuck won and stuff, and I was just wondering how you think that if Chuck did have control of the end, how you think he would have written the ending.
Well, I mean, if I go with that theory, he wrote it exactly how it was, like because he did write it, right? I mean, that's that theory. However, just to satisfy what I think your question is, like, if that's wrong, Chuck didn't write the ending because Chuck is not God anymore and all that. But if I had written the ending, I think it would have been more like that. Like, I think it would have been, I think, yeah, like, it would have been great if, like, Jack did the, and I was like, ah, and then, like, it came to, and I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I'm actually a good God. Guys, so, sorry about everything. And I go, and Becky's back, and the dog's back, and Dean doesn't die. Dean and Sam are immortal. And I make Jack, I treat Jack like he's my freaking grandson. What an asshole. You're my grandson. I can't, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you. Let's go fishing. Like a real grandfather would do. And maybe I snap back all the archangels and they're all there. We're there together. Lucifer, I love you, son. You know what I mean? All of a sudden I'm a good dad. Michael, Richard. Love you guys. You guys are all my pals. Let's be a great family. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. And we all get in the car together. I don't know how we fit, but like clowns in a clown car. And the baby's all weighted down. It's like, and we all drive away together, and it's everything so happy ending. End of show. That'd be good. And I'd come to these conventions and be like, I loved God in the end. And I'd say, me too. But no.